Wow, wow, wow. Citizens of Sway in the morning. Look, you guys know, like, the team. There's me, Heather, there's Tracy G, there's Sway. Now, we all are passionate about different things. I'm passionate about hip hop like Sway. I got my little side things with my cooking and my drinks. Tracy G, she's passionate as well. You know, all the things she's passionate about. Sway, same thing. But then we got our team as well. And when it comes to passion, I don't think there is anybody on the team as passionate about television and film like our very own DB. Because literally, I just heard this clip, Tracy G, from Venom, Let There Be Carnage, and I just got scared. I was like, I don't know what this is, but I would not even go sit in the dark and watch this by myself. What is going on? So we are going to let our movie junkie, DB, do the honors here and intro our next guest.
Oh, thank you. First time I think I got an intro before I did the
Ah,
intro.
you hear me, DB? You hear me, DB?
But I'm not the guest today. Our special guest with us. He's been on the show before. He's an
Yes.
actor, producer, voice and motion capture artist, and he's been adding some director credits to his resume in the past few years. You know him as Gollum from Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit: An Unexpected Journey. He played King Kong. He played Caesar in Planet of the Apes. He worked with Steven Spielberg on The Adventures of Tintin. He starred as Supreme Leader Snoke in The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, and he played the bad guy Ulysses Claw in Avengers: Age of Ultron and Black Panther. He is one of the highest grossing actors of all time, and this year he won a Daytime Emmy Award for the series The Letter for the King, but he's back with us today as the director of Venom, Let There Be Carnage, along with Tom Hardy and Woody Harrelson, in theaters this Friday, October 1st. Welcome him back to the show, Andy Serkis.
Andy!
Hey, Andy.
Hi, guys.
How are you?
Hey. Oh, it's lovely to be back on the show.
Yes,
Oh, yes.
thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, Andy, hi, this is Heather. I
Heather.
was I was the one that said this scared the living daylights out of me without even seeing anything. I'm just hearing audio, so I know this is going to be really, really good. Now, Venom Let There Be Carnage comes out Friday, October 1st. And as DB mentioned, your resume and just some of the things that you've been blessed to do you still, Andy, get excited? Like, this is a big film. This is you're directing. This is all the marbles are out there. Are you excited about this Friday like everybody else is?
Oh, are you kidding? I mean, I am so super excited. I mean, it's been such a long time coming, and with the pandemic and everything, and the way that, we've had to, we finished shooting this film in March 2020, and it was supposed to come out in October last year, and so it's. I mean, the fact of the matter is, I have to say, the movie is so much better because we've had more time to work on it, and the CG elements, all of the creatures, the Carnage and Venom look amazing now as a result of having extra time working on it. So although it was a shame it didn't come out when it did, and everyone has been hyped about it for such a long time. I'm so excited for everybody to see it, and we've had a couple of fan screenings, and they're people are I think they're really loving it. So I'm very, very excited, but I'm nervous too.
Yeah, I was gonna say, does that make you nervous because you said you had a fan screening? Do you sneak in and watch with the fans and like kind of see their reaction, or were you not able to do that?
Well, I was there. I was in New York City last night in the Lincoln Center, and
Beautiful.
watching it with the fans and just hearing their reactions, and which was wonderful. It was really fantastic, and just such a pleasure to hear people. Just to have people back in the cinemas again and just enjoying
Yeah.
movies is a thing in itself. But on top of that, listening and watching a movie that you've been part of it's great to feel that response.
That's amazing. Listen, we have actor and director Andy Serkis here. Citizens, if you have any questions, 888-742-3345. You get to talk to him live and in person. Tracy is with us as well. Andy, Tracy, jump
Hi,
in.
Tracy.
Hey, Andy. Good to hear your voice, King. So many of us, I think the vast majority, we've been introduced to you as an actor. And as DB was saying, in recent years, you've been able to really expand and become all of these different roles that help to make a film come to life. And, this is coming from me being naive to the industry. The way when I see a director, I'm so used to the one who's yelling cut, and of course who's studying the actors as they in real time play out these narratives. But can you share, outside of that obvious description of a director, what are some of the other things that a director is doing that the public doesn't necessarily see?
Well, it's an interesting one because, I mean, obviously, on a movie of this scale, there are so many different departments. You know, there are hundreds and hundreds of people who work on these movies. And the visual effects side of things as a whole part of the industry, I think that, you know, a lot of people, when you see the credits at the end of a movie and it just rolls on and on and on, and, you know, there can be thousands of people who lay their hand to making any single movie. So what you're doing as a director is you're kind of, you know, you're ensuring that your vision comes through, but at the same time, the real skill is listening to everybody and taking the best idea in the room. And so it's not just about kind of, you know, you being the one in complete control, because there are so many people you have to rely on and so all of the different departments so, you know, in pre-production, when you're starting, you've got location finders and you're looking at locations, for instance, and searching, finding exactly the right place that's going to look great in the movie. You're working with costume designers and then again, when the costume designers get together with the actors, you're sort of fielding all the different ideas that are coming from lots of different people, then the makeup and casting and so on. And then in production, you're working with the camera department, and then in post-production, you're working with a composer and trying to bring the score to life, and visual effects teams and animators. And it's a huge, huge, huge journey that you go on when you make a movie. And it can normally take, you know, if you're working on a picture, it normally takes probably 2 to 3 years when you're making a film.
Wow.
My goodness.
You know.
Man.
Thank you for sharing that. I'm also curious, if you don't mind, HB.
Yeah, go ahead.
Andy, when it comes to like the music industry and the star is the artist, right? Like that's who is the front facing like advocate of this song, representative of this song. But then it's like the producer a lot of times makes even more money than the singer or the rapper. When it comes to movies, does the director make as much as the actors? Like how, if you're okay with sharing, how much is there a difference when it comes to the pay? Because the director is doing a whole lot.
Well, yeah, I mean, the thing is, when you come into it often depends on your, you know, how much work you've done as a director, for instance. So I've got, you know, a lot of movie credits, but as an actor, but as a director, you know, I've helmed now 3 movies by myself, and so, you know, I'm still an aspiring director, if you like. So the answer to your question really is, I mean, I guess pedigree directors who have been working for years in the industry and done nothing but direct, then they command, you know, they command reasonable fees, of course. But you know, I'm still at the aspiring stage, if you like. So it's a very different kind of a different experience to, say, earning as an actor.
Man, we're talking to Andy Serkis. He's here, citizens. 888-742-3345. You got any questions? The new movie, Venom, Let There Be Carnage, is in theaters this Friday, October 1st. We cannot mention the movie without having this opportunity for our very own movie junkie, DB, to just go at it with Andy. DB, I'm excited to hear your questions for Andy as well. What you got for him, DB?
I got a ton of questions, Heather B. I know we don't have that much time, but I'm going to try to keep it short and sweet. So, Andy, I'm assuming that you and Tom probably had jokes between the two of you because Tom Hardy starred as Bane in The Dark Knight Rises, and now he's starring as Venom in the Venom movies. You're going to be starring in The Batman as Alfred Pennyworth, and now you're directing Venom. So the two of you going between DC and Marvel, I'm sure probably had a lot of jokes and humor moments between the two of you. But I just wanted to know for fans, you know, in a lot of industries, there's sort of like a no competition clause where, you know, if you work for one company, you can't go and work with the competition. So how does it work in Hollywood with, you know, in terms of Marvel and DC? Like, is there a time period where you can't work on one film if you're going to be starring in another franchise? If you could just break that down.
No, there's no such kind of rules. I mean, for instance, when I was working on Venom, Let There Be Carnage, and I was in post-production, so during that period of time, I was also shooting on the Batman. So no, there's no exclusivity in terms of working for a particular company or not. It's open there. That's which is good,
Got it. And I'm sure you and everybody who's in Hollywood in front of the camera or behind the camera has heard about this strike going on with the International Alliance of Theatrical Stage Employees. And I just wanted to know, how will that affect Hollywood in terms of films and TV shows being made if they can't find a resolution with the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers over the grievances that they have over rest periods, breaks, wages, and better compensation? Like, is that going to affect movies moving forward, or are things still set in motion?
I think things are evolving all the time, and everyone's working to resolve it. We're just going to have to wait and see. I guess it's good that things are being questioned. It's good that people are standing up for the rights to proper pay for the work that they do. But it's just it's an evolving dialogue. So we'll see where it ends up. I mean, I hope it's going to resolve itself. Of course.
Got it. And I also heard that you hired dancers to portray Venom and Carnage to evoke the movements because you wanted each character, Venom and Carnage, to have their own sort of individuality of how they move. You wanted Carnage to be a little bit more fluid, whereas Venom is just straight rage and wants to just like kill and destroy everything. Was that your sole decision, or was that sort of like a group decision amongst everybody that was involved?
Oh no, it was taking the inspiration from the comics, absolutely, and just looking at the two different characters. And that was, I mean, when I first came on board, I thought that would be a very interesting direction to move in. And everybody, the visual effects team, Sheena Dougal, who was our visual effects supervisor, really bought into the idea. And so we had this period of exploration very, very early on, where we were able to use motion capture and just to get a sense of how we could make this movement and physicality totally different. Because drawing from the comics, whereas Venom is like this, he's like got the physicality of a sort of an American football player. He has the weight of a wrestler or a kind of a gorilla, kind of very straightforward, kind of battering ram, physical kind of power and strength. But with Carnage, we wanted him to be more slippery and reflect the psychotic mind of Cletus Cassidy, the serial killer, because that obviously amplified through this extraordinary creature. So he's much more, he was going to be more, use tendrils, and he can, from the comics, he can shapeshift in lots of different ways and turn himself into whirlwinds or mist, or he can move around more like an octopus or a squid, So we wanted to, we worked with great hip-hop dancers and parkour artists, and then captured their movement and then added tendrils to that just to see what that would do. So it was a really exciting phase of the production, really working out that physicality.
Amazing. Listen, Andy Serkis is here. We got a couple people on the line, Andy, that just want to show you love and have a couple questions for you. We want to give them a shot. I got Morgan on the line calling in from Canada. Morgan, say what up to Andy Serkis. He is here, baby. What's your question for him?
Hi, Morgan.
What's up, guys? Hey, ladies, I got to give you a shout out. I've been a long time listener. Andy,
Thank you.
You're an amazing, talented guy. I've been following you since the beginning of Planet of the Apes. You've been included with a lot of very, very, very top tier movies, and a lot of them included a lot of CGI. And seeing that you've had a part in creating all these iconic movies and I guess you could say films, they have. My question is out of all of them, what was the most exciting project that you've had to create, and why?
Wow, that's a really difficult question. I guess one of the most exciting characters for me to play, aside from Gollum, which was in itself a really sort of life-changing experience, because it brought to me the whole the whole art of kind of motion capture, which then became performance capture. But beyond that, I think evolving the character of Caesar was I think for me a sort of more of a transcendental experience because it was taking this ape and making him have kind of human qualities, but also he starts life as purely an ape and ends up much more growing to be much more human-like, including finding speech, and that was a really amazing journey to take over the course of 3 movies. So and also the kind of the whole art of performance capture was evolving at the same time, where it went from just being able to shoot in the studio to taking it out on sets and locations. And during the course of shooting the second movie of Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, we were able to shoot up in the rainforests in near Whistler and in Canada. Beautiful locations. Amazing. And then in the third movie, again, sort of out in the elements, shooting performance capture out in the snow and in very, very cold conditions. So we were really pushing the boundaries of the technology and the art form.
Nice. Thank you, Morgan. Great question. We appreciate you listening. You're a citizen.
A Sway in the morning.
We got another citizen on the line, Sean from Detroit. Sean, what up, though?
Hey, Sean.
Heather B, Tracy G, what is going on?
Say what up to Andy, baby. We good.
Andy Serkis, my guy, man, listen to me, man. You are an inspiration. I was upset when they killed your character off in Black Panther, man. You was Hold on, I got
you and me both. I was so upset.
It's one thing that I gotta say to you. I've been waiting to say to you for a long time, and it's the process.
What?
I had to say it.
That's
my
Lord of the Rings
impression, man.
We like you, Sean. Go ahead.
I'm excited. I'm going to see the movie. I want to see what you're going to do with the Maximum Carnage series, how y'all going to evolve it. It just looks exciting to me, and I want to say the movie looks phenomenal, and I'm happy that you are at the helm of it, and you that guy, man. I appreciate you. You are that dude, man.
Thanks,
that's
Morgan.
love,
that's
Sean.
Really I hope you enjoy the movie, man.
That is really kind. Look, DB, man, we got to let our movie junkie wrap this one up with Andy. I mean, Sean and Morgan had great questions and comments. DB, send us home.
Andy, since Sean brought up Black Panther, last time you came on the show, I believe was about 2 years ago, and you spoke to the impact and the importance of starring in Black Panther. Sure. And nobody, at least none of us, and I know a lot of people who were involved with Black Panther. I mean, we talked to Michael B. Jordan recently, and even he wasn't aware of what Chadwick Boseman was going through. And due to the unfortunate passing of Chadwick, I just wanted to know, since in that time, has it given you more perspective on working with people and cherishing the time that you have with your co-stars, with your friends, your family, whoever it is in your life? Like, has that impacted you in that sort of way?
100%. I mean, of course, none of us knew what was really going on with Chad, and I was devastated when I found out that he'd passed, because he was clearly a super, connected, intelligent, beautiful human being who was so passionate about what he did and worked so hard. And he really was an inspiration to everyone on the set, and it makes you, and we've all been, look, over the course of the last year and a half with the pandemic and the amount of loss that a lot of people have suffered, I think many of us are in a period of sort of reflection and a period of thinking, what is important in life, and people are important in life, and your family are important in life, and I think it's made a lot of us really question the importance of being in the moment, being honest, being truthful, being present, and living life where you're accepting of other people, because I really do, and Chad was kind of epitomized that, really. And then that on top of everything that's gone on in this, last year and a half with the pandemic and with Black Lives Matters and everything, I think is pointing to a position where we kind of want to be really present and listen to each other.
Amen. Amen, amen. Thank you, man. DB, great question, man. For real. Thank you. Thank you so much. Andy, citizens, make sure, I'm sorry we couldn't get to all of your questions, but of course, this Friday, October 1st, Venom, Let There Be Carnage is out. It will be out. Make sure you rock with him. Make sure you rock with Andy and support this one. We want to thank you so much, Andy, for coming to the show. We appreciate you so much, man.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for having me on again. It's great. It's lovely to see you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Love to you and your family as well.